What's happening, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's your boy Noname back at it again with another Giants update video. This one is from the we got some comments from Dave Gettleman from the New York Giants media day today at the NFL Combine, and also apparently, which relates to the comments that Gettleman said, he has let go of two longtime Giants scouts. They've been fired in what is, kind of a shocking move because these guys have been with the Giants for around 20 years each in terms of scouting, and it definitely shows a change of the guard and a change in the way of thinking and the way the front office and the scouting team is structured and what they're looking for. So let's get right into it. First things first, and you could find this video. The Giants released both the media day of Joe Judge and Dave Gettleman. I will speak on Joe Judge in another video soon. Both of them are up on the Giants YouTube channel. You can check them out, and that's where I saw these comments. Gettleman's interview was much shorter. I think it was only like around 10 minutes, while Judge's was around 18 or 19. And Gettleman, he was his very jovial old self that Dave Gettleman is, and Judge was a little bit more serious. But they didn't really, there wasn't really too many intrusive questions asked at the media day for Dave. I don't know whether that's because they were screening the questions a lot, or whether it's because, guys don't really have too many, I guess, they're not really intriguing questions to ask Dave Gettleman. But the one that was asked, and of course I'm going to paraphrase here because the audio to hear the questions was terrible, but paraphrasing, they basically asked if he's open to trade down, if it's likely that the Giants will look to trade down in this year's draft from the number 4 overall spot. And Gettleman said, yeah, we do. They're open for business. Whatever they do is going to be in the Giants' best interest. Now listen, Gettleman is not somebody known to trade down in the NFL draft, not somebody known to even want to trade down in the NFL draft. In fact, in all his years as a general manager, he has never traded down in the NFL draft. So it begs the question, why is he more willing this year? Well, this is a rumor that's been going around for a while, or it's not even a rumor, it's just a school of thought. Since we hired Joe Judge, and with everything that went into the coach hiring process, and I have many videos out there on it, one of the main things said is that a lot of people did not want the New York Giants head coach job because Dave Gettleman has too much of a stronghold on the NFL draft and what he does in the NFL draft. If somebody comes to be our new head coach, he would have to, lighten up that hold a bit, both what they do in free agency, what they do in the draft, what they do with players in general. And since Joe Judge stepped on board, the impression given by the Maras, by Gettleman himself, by Joe Judge, by the Giants organization is that that's exactly what happened. Gettleman was very willing to work with whoever came into that office, and that's what he did. Him and Judge have been on the same page since day one. Since Judge stepped in the office, Gettleman and Joe Judge, they've been working hand in hand with each other. And I think that has a big deal to do with, him shifting his philosophy a little bit and being more open to trading down. And it's also the fact that they may not be in love with anybody in this draft because the Giants have a lot of needs. They have needs at almost every single position. If I were to list them off right now, needs at offensive tackle, needs at center, at edge rusher, at linebacker, both middle and outside. That's, I guess it counts into the edge rusher a little bit. At cornerback and at safety. That's 6 positions right there. And in terms of the 6 groups or 5 groups on the team, that's almost all over the place. That's almost the entire team. That's really all over the place. And if you were to rank what are most important is, it would be, between edge rusher and offensive tackle. And in this draft, there's a good amount of offensive tackles. It's a deep offensive tackle draft in terms of the first round. And there's three or four dudes up there, in my opinion, 3 who could really come in and start day 1. Now you could take any 3 of them at number 4. But the question is they, are they worth the 4th overall pick? Because the teams right behind you, in the Panthers, in the Chargers, in the Dolphins, that's 3 teams directly behind you that need a quarterback, that have a need to trade up, that have a want to trade up, and you could still get your offensive tackle if you trade down. Same could be said if you go with the edge rusher position, or the edge rusher mixed linebacker position that is represented by Isaiah Simmons. If you trade down, you could still get him. It's really a matter of do they love this guy so much, or do they love a particular prospect so much that they're not willing to let go of the spot they're at because they fear he might be scooped up by somebody else. And this tells me that they're not really in that basket right now. You know, maybe they feel like they could get whoever is their number one guy at a later pick, whether that's Chargers, whether that's Dolphins, whether that's Panthers, or maybe even farther down, somebody like the Raiders. I heavily believe that the Oakland Raiders are a major possibility for the Giants to trade down with, giving us their mid-round first-round pick and the one later in the first round. I believe that's a heavy possibility. Maybe they'll add on a third round this year, or maybe like a second next year or something. It's not really a possibility people are considering, but I actually wouldn't even be mad if we go all the way down to the mid-first round. I think they pick around 15 or 16. We could still get a good offensive tackle there, and that's honestly would be the perfect spot to pick an offensive tackle at around 15, 16. There's still going to be one or two guys left. Your major edge rushers and linebackers are going to be gone, but that's what you have the second first round pick for. You could take an edge rusher, you could take the linebacker, somebody like a Julian Okwara, somebody like a Yeturu Gross-Matos, or maybe one of these other linebackers that I haven't scouted yet. But there's a good amount of reason to trade down from the number 4 spot this year. And Gettleman, it's nice to see. I mean, I said this when Judge came on. It's really great to see that he's willing to, to do this, because not a lot of general managers are. And I feel like he deserves more credit for that, because from the moment Gettleman stepped onto the Giants' plate, he's been bashed from all different sides, all different corners, you know what I mean? People, from the moment he stepped on, there's former players that stepped out and said they don't like him as a general manager, that he's a stingy and greedy general manager, he's not a very smart football guy and whatnot, despite him acing 2 drafts for us. And yes, his free agency moves are questionable, but in this past year, I feel like he's proved enough that he is a good general manager, and definitely some blame for the way the Giants performed in the 2019 season goes to Dave Gettleman. I mean, he is the one that put together that team, but I feel like overall it was, still a success because of the amount of young pieces he has there and the amount of cornerstones he found, whether it was in the draft or free agency. Now that's on the Dave Gettleman comments. The other thing I want to talk about is that the Giants have released, or they fired, 2 longtime scouts. One being Ryan Jones, who was with the Giants for 20 years, and Donnie Etheridge, who was with them for 19 years. And I'm reading off of NY Post here. Jones worked in the Northeast region and Etheridge in the Southwest region, assignments given to them in 2018 when Gettleman took over. This is an ongoing revamp by Gettleman, who changed the way the Giants rank players on their draft board, altered the way the scouts send in reports, promoted Chris Pettit to the director of college scouting, and hired specific personnel to help out the organization upgrade its analytics department. So of course, along with the big change in coaching staff, with Joe Judge coming aboard, I feel like just like how his philosophy has shifted, as the article says, the Giants in general are shifting how they scout players. They're looking for different things. Maybe they're looking using different tests for these players, during the interview and whatnot. In general, they're shifting almost everything about the way they approach the draft and the way they approach free agency, the way they approach building a team. And I feel like this definitely has, is heavily connected to Joe Judge and his new staff, but it's also connected to Dave Gettleman, as a general manager, seeing that what he's done the past few years has not worked out, and realizing that, hey, a change needs to be made basically everywhere. Now, I'm not sure exactly why he let go of these 2 guys. The article does not really touch on it that much, but it does state that Ryan Jones may stay on the team with another position because of the fact that he worked heavily with Joe Judge during the stint at Mississippi State, and that Jones has been referred to as one of Judge's mentors. So they definitely have a close relationship there, and maybe he's going to be sitting in the assistant coach's room, or maybe just as a soundboard for Judge. In some way, shape, or form, at least the way that the Post is writing it, it sounds like Jones may stay on the team. Once again, they don't really tell us why these guys were released. Whether it's because, maybe they weren't doing a good job as scouts, but I mean, they kept their job for 20 years there. That's through a lot of different head coaches and a lot of different general managers. That's, before Eli even stepped about. Like, that's really since 2000, 2001, back when the Giants were in the Super Bowl with the Ravens and whatnot. But who knows why it's there. It just happened, and it shows that the changes to the front office, the changes to the organization haven't finished yet. And I'm really, I'm not excited per se, but it's definitely nice to see that the Giants are aware that they need to change everything from top to bottom. and it shows that they're really trying to put a lot of hard work into what's gonna happen this season, into the product they're gonna put on the field, into the team that they're gonna build. That's what I got for y'all today. Like I said, the Joe Judge video will come out soon, probably tomorrow, but that's what I got for y'all right now. Let me know what you all think. What do you think about Gettleman's comments? Why do you think he wants to trade down? And what do you think about the Giants releasing these two longtime scouts? I'm out. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Put your comments down below. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Until next time, I'm out.